Hey everyone, we are finishing up the week of the Into the Wild League. I am Rod Johnson, and with me today is the lovely Death Graves. How are you doing, sir?
Good, I'm doing pretty good.
Good,
How
man.
about yourself?
I am doing all right. Uh, can we start? Oh, god damn it! We've already. I'm swearing. How long of a delay? So we're about to start getting to a match with Wildcard and Mike Lowe, and I just got a message from Wildcard that we are Mike is driving home. So I may have to stop the stream for a second. Either this we have time going on to like get this going. Okay, I already started the stream. So when you guys are ready, uh, so I guess this could be we're gonna be talking about the rules and everything. We could go into that. Okay,
Yeah,
so let's do the league rules, and we could spend more time with this because obviously Mike's doing this. So let's get into it. The Into the Wild League is brought to you with some really cool rules. We use the base set of the United Hearthstone League. There are each week the players are going to choose three classes. The next week they don't have access to those three classes, so they'll pick three classes from the remaining six classes, and then the final week in the 3 week rotation, they are going to have those remaining three classes. There are no bans every week, so you have to beat your opponent with all three of the classes you brought, and there are special deck building challenges. And so, Death, do you want to talk about what the deck building challenges are
yeah,
for this week?
yeah. So this week, one of the decks has to be a max of 4 minions, or has a max of 4 minions, and the rest of your deck is spells. The another deck is going to be a max of 4 spells. The rest of your deck will be minions, and then the last one will be a 50-50 on spells and minions, which will be 15 spells and 15 minions.
Yeah, it's a really cool deck building challenge, and we've seen wild cards decks, but we haven't seen Mike's, so it'll be interesting to see what Mike is uh, bringing this week. But they both brought some fun stuff. So
Yeah,
in the
wild
pat,
card.
yeah, go
Wild
ahead.
card is doing an odd paladin deck, which is looks pretty much just be like a regular odd paladin deck. Then he's running a temple mage with four minions and the rest are spells. Um, and then he's running a pirate warrior with a lot of minions. So yeah,
So
it's
it
good.
looks very aggressive decks, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens if it's quick. Uh, if Mike has brought control to counter this, it would be interesting.
Oh yeah,
This lineup kind of screams Spell Hunter to me, but like for one of these challenges. But then the Pirate Warrior also makes sense. It's interesting to think of what comes to mind with these deck building restrictions, right? Like when you go only 4 minions, I would have gone into like a Barnes Yasharaj if I had Hunter available
oh
to
that would
me.
be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Spell Hunter. I mean, it's good for like the Tempo Mage, but Tempo Mage usually runs more minions than that, so it's interesting to see Wildcard going down that road. But again, you don't know what the deck building restrictions are going to be for the whole set of weeks, so you don't know what classes to bring one week and the next, and just figuring this stuff out, it makes it super interesting. So
yeah,
we'll see. Let's go over these deck lists then, because we're waiting for Mike anyways. Do you want to go and read the deck list for Wildcard that he brought?
yeah. So let's start out with odd paladin, which he's running 2 Agent Squires, 2 Avenge, 2 Blessings of Might, 2 competitive spirits, or 1 competitive spirit, 2 Lost in the Jungle, 2 Righteous Protectors, 2 Deckhands, 2 Favors, 2 Owls, 2 Muster for Battles, 2 Rallying Blades, 2 Stewards, 2 Warhorse Trainers, 1 Fungal Mancer, 2 Level Ups, 2 Quartermasters, 1 Darkness, 1 Vile Cleaver, and then Battle, obviously.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I mean it looks pretty much like a standard Odd Paladin. Um,
Yeah. It sounds pretty standard.
yeah, so I think it's going to do good. You know, it's been doing pretty good on the Wild Ladder. And I don't think that'll change much for this tournament.
Yeah.
Although, I'm pretty sure Mike is actually no, he's not going with. If he's going priest, he could have like spirit. He could have psychic scream and be able to throw wild cards back into his deck, and that could be pretty hard for his game plan.
Yeah, it's priest can deal with paladin a lot of the time, but it just depends on what kind of opening hand you get. If you have the tools to deal with it before they go too wide. I know I've played enough odd paladin on the ladder, and just when the big priest gets those really good hands, it's really hard to deal with as an odd paladin, because those 4/8s can just be like, they're basically game over for the odd paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do one of the pirate warrior?
Yeah. So the pirate warrior is pull it up. So he's running N'Zoth's first mate, patches, Finley, deckhand, 1 upgrade, Bloodsail Rider, heroic strike, ship's cannon, Argent Horse Rider, one of those, 2 Bloodsail cultists, 2 Frothy Berserkers, 2 captains, 2 Dread Corsair, 2 elites, 1 mortal strike, 2 spell breakers, Arcanine, Leroy, and Crag. Looks more like just like tempo deck, spammer stuff, and then if those minions don't work, he just plays Arcanite and like gets an upgrade on it or heroic strike.
So I'm not even sure if I realize, like, what are we, like, weapons counting as a spell?
I'm guessing spells, yeah. I kind of was confused on that, but I guess that's what's going on.
It's an interesting thought in the whole process, so it goes along, and it kind of, I know they had talked about the using the Death Knights as either or, so it's interesting because they really don't meet the challenges. They're
kind of like if you look at Spectrals, if you were to pull a weapon or a Death Knight, it would get discarded. So those don't really count as spells to the game's logic.
Hey, so do that last deck, because I think they're about to start. So just
okay. So we're gonna have a Tempo Mage with Arcane Missiles, Ice Lance, Mirror Image, Frostbolt, 1 Mad Scientist, 2 Glyphs, 2 Research Projects, 1 Sorcerer's Apprentice, 2 Unstable Portals, 2 Counter Spells, 2 Duplicates, 2 Explosive Runes, 2 Flame Walkers, 2 Forgotten Torches, 1 Potion of Polymorph, 2 Fireballs, and Overlays.
Okay.
Very secret heavy looking deck.
You have to be if you could only have 4 minions in the list.
Yeah. I almost wonder if a Mirror Entity would have been good to put in there.
Yeah.
Maybe like an extra minion.
Yeah, it's giving you extra like ammo, and especially with all these secrets in there, it's gonna be harder for Mike to play around them. So it's interesting to see how he went with the build, but yeah. So is he running Alaneth, did you say?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that probably is pretty key in this situation. Well, the interesting thing about this is that Tempo Mage is really built to get early damage in with their minions. You want to get some chip damage in and then finish off the opponent with your spells.
Yeah, I played a lot of Tempo Mage.
Yeah.
I still don't think Research Project is not necessarily the best because it gives your opponent 2 cards.
Yeah.
And it costs 1 mana less.
Yeah. But with this deck restriction building, like, there's a pretty, like, so in Wild we have 2 kind of different builds. Like, there's pure like aggro mage, and then there's like Tempo Mage, which runs the Flame Wakers and everything like that. And depending on what you're doing there, you kind of have sort of set builds. Like there's kind of flex cards, but I think that what happened was that when you take out some of these minions, you're kind of always putting in these builds. You had to kind of play spells you wouldn't normally play, and at that point you're probably more desperate to get to your Alaneth so you have burn. So that's probably why he included it. I don't hate it. It's depends on what Mike brings, man. Like if Mike's got like Druid with like juicy Psych Melon, then you're not gonna want to have that, right? So it's I forget what classes Mike even brought this week, but it it just
Mike,
an example of what could go wrong with it, you know. So Mike
yeah,
has gone offline yet again. I don't know what's going on with this. So
yeah. I think AI is a little bit better in that deck,
yeah,
just because you only draw your own cards. But he only has one Sorcerer's Apprentice, not very many minions, so it might just be good to have very cheap card draw. And maybe he's going for gameplay and not really caring exactly what his opponent does.
yeah. It's an interesting thing and why I really appreciate these deck building challenges because they take a format that is, I mean, we have a meta, right? We Vicious
Yeah.
Syndicate and Tempo Storm do meta reports, but it's still not as explored as Standard, one. And two, it's taking these decks with like
Set builds.
yeah, set builds, and you're forcing changes. So Wildcards has this cool kind of tempo mage. He's got a different pirate warrior. It makes you do things you're not used to seeing.
Mm-hmm. Super cool. And it makes kind of playing around the decks a lot harder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know what your opponent's going to bring in these tournaments, and you can do your best to kind of guess of what they're going to bring. But then if you're completely wrong, you could get run over, or your list doesn't deal with what they bring. It's a really challenging, interesting format, and it makes it really cool to see it happening. So
yeah, I would imagine Control would be pretty good in this aspect because aggro can do a lot of damage and stuff, but it's limited without most of their minions or without most of their spells.
Okay, so we are actually getting going here.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna game one, and Wildcard is queued up his Pirate Warrior, and Mike has queued up his Warlock, which looks like Control Warlock because I see a Void Lord and I see a Gul'dan.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting because Wildcard has a dream start here with this Nazathras mate into the Bloodsail, into the Bloodsail Cultist. And really, really like this opening hand for Wildcard.
Yeah.
He's going to get fast going, and he's going to start hitting Mike in the face with a lot of minion damage. So
possibly Mike could draw like a Void Caller.
Yeah.
Wait, Void Caller and get out at Void Lord pretty early. That could be pretty much the end of it. Although, Wildcard is running Spellbreakers, if I'm correct.
Yeah. It looks like Mike is running Q blocks, so that would this is probably his half and half deck, right? I assume. Yeah. And Wildcard plays that Nazathras mate, takes out the Kobold Librarian, and passes. I think he's going to play the Bloodsail Raider here next turn, unless he plans on... He could coin out the Bloodsail Cultist too, but it looks like he's just going to play the Bloodsail Raider. No, he is. I actually like this play a lot because it's going to make his Bloodsail Raider stronger next turn also.
Yeah, having the Bloodsail Raider can be a little bit more value. Just a little bit more, or like a little bit more damage, a little bit more of a worry.
He's willing to take that extra, like... The problem with that play is he's floating a mana next turn, but he's not really caring about that because the value he's getting out of that with an extra attack out of that Bloodsail Raider. So
it just Hellfire is definitely pretty scary.
Yeah, and Mike has this awkward hand where he has nothing to do besides tapping. We're on turn 3. He's got a Faceless Manipulator in his hand. He's got the Skull of Minari. He will be able to play this Mountain Giant next turn, but Wildcard draws the Sousy Captain, and he's going to start really putting the pressure on. And I don't know how Mike gets out of this. He's got this Hellfire, but he's still gonna leave out he's gonna leave out the Bloodsail Cultist, and he's gonna do 3 damage to his own face.
Kind of has to.
Yep. So that's 3. And he gets the Heroic Strike up here. Ooh, that's lethal, right? 6, 9. Yep, that's exactly lethal.
Dang. Warlock goes down. It just kind of shows you what like the synergy as a pirate deck does.
Yeah, it's just it's so hard to fight back once that you start getting that damage on the board. So let's see. So that was a fun game. It was just showing you what Pirate Warrior does so well, and that was without getting the ship's cannons or anything too. He just got rolling with the massive amounts of damage that Pirate Warrior is able to output, which is what the deck does, man.
Yeah.
So let's just see. We can have them go into the next. You want to message them and tell them they can start the next game?
Okay.
And here. What is going on in here? I'm having weird issues with the my Discord, my PC here. Okay, let's get into game number 2.
So, we got Priest. Priest versus Odd Paladin. This is the match we were kind of talking. It looks like this is going to be a minion-based deck.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, Mike's got these. Yeah, 4 minions in his hand right now. So this is. I wonder if this is a Reno build, because I see the what was it, the potion dude. What the heck is that card called? The
I didn't like his office. I didn't see. I
no,
saw
the Cabal. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Cabal. The Cabal Courier. I couldn't think of the name of it, and it wasn't letting it in. So
I feel like this is a very unfavored matchup towards Mike.
I wonder if Mike's running a. I think this is a Spiteful Summoner list. Look at this.
Oh yeah, with Free from Amber.
Free from Amber and Mind Controls, I assume, which means this is a really, really bad matchup for Mike, because he's not going to have the AoE to deal with these boards, and by the time he's able to play Spiteful Summoners, he's going to be dead.
Yeah, the only benefit I can see right now is the fact that Wildcard does not have a big Silver Hand buff. I mean, he just pulled a Warhorse, but other than that, and like he has competitive spirit, but he still can't make him 3/3s. But I mean, this game just seems like it's going to be very, very hard to win.
Yeah, it's with no AoE. That's how Priest deals with this stuff. He's just going to get run over. He's got his courier here, so he might be able to pick up some kind of answer.
Yeah. I mean, Voidwalker. Yeah, it's just like your best bet.
Yeah, and I don't mind him coining that out either.
Yeah,
And
just get rid of one of those Silver Hand.
Well, it's gonna deal with 2 of them, right? Because I assume he's gonna trade 2 Silver Hands in instead of, and he trades 1, and he's gonna probably play this Muster for Battle here, right?
Yeah.
So you trade 1 of them in, and then you play Muster for Battle.
Yeah.
I don't mind either or. Like, I think the competitive spirit is the best play, but he doesn't know that Mike's running this minion deck, so he doesn't know that Mike has no
sort of AoE at all.
Yeah. So, but he does do that. He trades, instead of using 1 face damage, he uses the Horse Rider one, and I kind of would have preferred he'd done that with a face, but he's gonna get the job done here anyways.
Yeah.
And this matchup couldn't really be much worse for Mike. This is just not what you want to deal with this. He's got a Stonehill Defender here to like put up another taunt, but he's got a Scale Worm in his hand, but it's not gonna buy him much in the long run. He takes that damage off, but then it comes right back with a competitive spirit.
Yeah. This is just kind of like a sad matchup.
Yep.
It's a cool deck. It looks kind of like an arena deck, which is I kind of like that, but unfortunately, Zod Paladin deck is not arena.
Yeah, it without things to like Spirit Lash to deal with this Odd Paladin board, you're never going to like fight back. And we haven't seen anything besides this Free from Ember, but I'm not sure if he's. I'm guessing from what this list we're seeing, this is a Spiteful Summoner list.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just see it come into Mike's hand as a Spiteful Summoner.
Yeah. Not even like Dragonfire can save you.
Yep.
Well played.
Yep. And Mike is done on turn 2.
Turn 5.
Yeah. I sorry, I said turn 2 because I was trying to fix the score for the game at the same time. But yeah, that's gonna put Mike up 2-0 is what I was trying to say.
Mike does have an even shaman.
Or a wild card up 2-0, so.
Yeah. So yeah, Mike has a shaman left, which I think could be an even shaman if that warlock was more of a. Well, it'd have to be a spell based.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of minions.
Yep.
So I think the shaman is going to be more of a spell based shaman.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he brought.
It could be kind of like a Crusher shaman thing.
Yeah. With Hagatha top end, because then you could get some. But then you're not. If you're running Hagatha doesn't even make sense because you're not playing minions to get more.
Yeah.
Value. So.
It's hard to think of like what kind of deck a shaman would run with a bunch of spells. It could be like a burn shaman.
Yeah, with stuff like Malygos on the top end.
Yeah.
That's probably what makes the most sense. But like, you're having the problem. How are you gonna? I mean, it's gonna involve lots of overload, right?
Yeah, there's Lava Burst, or not? I think it's the 2-mana rare spell that unlocks all your overloaded mana crystals.
Oh, I don't like this matchup for Mike at all. Another one here. This is Wildcard's Tempo Mage into this pre-stack, and it is not what you want to see if you're Mike, because he's not going to have any minions to deal with, like, or he's not going to have any spells to deal with. Yeah.
He might be able to win the board, possibly. He might be able to deal with the Flamewalkers, and this deck is going to be going for like Flamewalker and a bunch of cheap minions to deal a bunch of burst.
Yeah.
If Mike could build up a big enough board to deal with the Flamewalker and get through like the mirror image,
yeah,
he might have a chance. But that's also 4 times.
Yeah, so. Look at this. He keeps he keeps these mirror images. He keeps this coin, and he's just gonna be outputting a huge amount of damage here coming up. And I really like this. I think he drops the explosive runes next turn, and then plays the Flame Waker the turn after, and he could play Flame Waker, coin, mirror image, and just put out a ton of damage.
Yeah. Oh, you just did see a pickup. Oh, he's gonna drop.
Yeah.
Playmaker right now.
I don't hate this either, and it's the only problem is gonna be for Wildcard is that he's got this Dustbreaker potentially coming in, but
yeah. I would have done the explosive runes, but Wildcard knows that Mike doesn't have like really very many. Like he knows he's like a bigger spell deck, or he can at least guess that because he didn't see any small spells.
Yeah.
So he could try and go for a more aggressive push.
See, this is why I would have liked the playing the explosive runes last turn and going with it, but we're gonna have. I like that play for Mike. He plays that Spellbreaker to get rid of that Flame Waker, but unfortunately for Mike, he's got this other Flame Waker in his hand, and now he's gonna trade the Silence Minion and just hopefully take out the Spellbreaker, and he doesn't. He goes face twice, which isn't even all that bad for Wildcard. He wants to push as much damage as he can.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that pushing a Polymorph. Could have been a very good counter against Flame Waker.
Yeah.
But now that Flame Waker is down, there's not much that potion of Polymorph can do.
Exactly. Is
that a Giggling Adventure I see? Yeah,
it is. That's way worse for with this Flamemaker up, that's not that big of a deal for Wildcard. I feel like he's got this explosive runes to come up. He's gonna just start pinging the crap out of everything here, and he's got this. I played the explosive, the mirror image.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I wonder if Ice did that extra 2 damage. But that also may not be the smartest play because that's an extra 4 damage in the long run.
Yeah.
With a Frostbolt. So.
I think the point is he just wants to get this stuff out of the way so he can. Oh, it's so unfortunate because that Ice Lance freezes the Annoyatron but doesn't get rid of the shield.
Divine Shield. Yeah.
But
and then here comes this. I mean, the spell break or the Dust Breaker does like it helps, but it does not clear the flame wall.
Yeah, and it's going to be whatever damage is like. So it's going to be how many cards in his hand? So he has 6 cards in his hand. So it's going to be a 4/7. But he's playing the Dust Breaker anyways, which is going to take that. And it's really good for Mr. Wildcard now. I actually like just dropping this explosive ruins here, and then let's Forgotten Torch Mike's face if I'm Wildcard, man. I don't know why not. There's no reason to save the damage at this point.
Yeah, he's trying to play this game and keep up this flame maker though.
Well, because if that Forgotten Torch he had gone face with it and the Flamewaker had missed, he would have potentially lost the Flamewaker, which he's trying to get as much damage out of it as he can.
And he only has 5 damage in hand now. And then plus the Flamewaker, that's another 6. That's 11 damage.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious about what he could get from the Dynamo, because he could potentially get like some sort of spell that could help, you know. Like, I'm trying to think of like a big spell that heals for freeze, but they're like.
Oh, that's painful, man, for Mike.
Yeah.
And I just go play all these. Play the Forgotten Torch. I would actually preferred he played the Frostbolt to face there, because he could have pinged too.
Yeah.
But we'll see. He's got Mike draws the summoners to see, and I think that's. I don't know if that's his best bet.
He has Lich King in the hand.
Yeah, but are you worried if you're Mike
Potion
about
of Polymorph?
Yeah, Potion of Polymorph? Are you worried about? Are you worried about things that could like go over top the Lich King?
Mirror Entity.
Yeah. Mirror Entity too. I mean, anything like spell wise, like or taunt wise, could just go over top. We know we just got a Roaring Torch put back into Wildcard's deck. So.
Yeah. But the Spiteful could also not pull a taunt minion, and that could just be really bad or really painful.
Yeah, it's.
Lich King can heal you. Plus, you could get Army of the Dead, which could pull 6 minions out of your deck.
Yeah. I mean, with this spell-heavy deck that Mike's got, I think you are right. I think that the Lich King's probably his best bet. Either that... Oh, I don't like that play at all. Oh.
That's...
Because that was literally getting you nothing this turn for sure.
Yeah.
And he pulls that Holy Nova, which isn't bad, but...
Not great.
Yeah, so I like this dropping the Sorcerer's Apprentice and then Frost bolting the Arcane.
3/4.
Yeah. And it's just to prevent. I mean, he's not worried about damage here at all, right? And he's setting up lethal next turn with this.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to see a Holy Nova, and
But the problem is,
he can Twilight Drake.
Wildcard's got this counter spell up that the Holy Nova's not going to do anything. And if he plays it, it's game over because he has 5 damage on board. The only way Mike doesn't die is playing this Lich King, I think. Unless he plays this... if he plays the Spiteful Summoner, he could potentially get something. But his only definite way he lives through next turn is playing the Lich King.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
Like-
happens here.
We've seen 2 ruins, but
Yep. And
okay, he's gonna test for the Holy Nova. He can still lose to fire. Oh, can still lose to Fireball
Yeah.
or Roaring Torch.
And there's a
there it is.
yeah, there's a fireball, and that's going to end this series 3-1.
Actually, I think that was 3 now.
Or 3-0. Sorry,
Yeah.
I keep doing too many things at a time, and counting is hard. So that is going to wrap it up, though. So that is that. So we have winner. Wild card is gonna win that 3-0, like you said. So
Yeah.
stars. Okay.
I'm still kind of wish we got to see the Shaman deck because I'm curious as to what Mike threw together for that.
Yeah. Let me add these 2 to this call and see what they have to say. So no add. Okay. I have to here. You have to accept my friend request real quick on Discord,
Okay.
and then I'll add them. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Cool. So let's add. If I could type wildcard, and Mike. Okay. And see what these 2 have to say. Okay, Mike says he can't talk, but let's see if wildcard.
Hello.
Hey, what's up,
Hey.
buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Rod? What's going on, Death Grace?
Not much.
Man, you had the perfect counter for that spiteful summoner priest Mike brought in, man. It was.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. It was. We didn't get deck lists from him before, but we saw that opening hand with a bunch of minions and a
Free from Amber.
yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, this must be spiteful. And you had I'm gonna go face and hit you a lot, and I'm gonna hit you hard and going to kill you. So it worked out well for you, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't usually play aggro decks, but I just wanted because it's my last 3, and I was like, okay, what are the best decks that I can sort of formulate from these restrictions? And those I think were the top. Obviously Odd Paladin's the best Paladin deck, and Tempo Mage is the best Mage deck, and although an argument can be made on a ladder format, you could probably say Reno Mage maybe right now, but for tournament purposes,
It was perfect for what he had lined up because he didn't know what you were bringing, and with that heavy minion priest deck, you could just go to town on his face with a bunch of spells, and you basically had the no pressure put on you that entire game with that Tempo Mage deck, and it was interesting to see those choices you made. We were talking about before the game started, or the series started, bringing that the card that draws 2 cards for both players was an interesting inclusion, and it made sense with you having to pull out and only have 4 minions in the deck,
Oh yeah, I got totally lucky in that last game because I was sweating it in the last game because I was like, okay, I'm out of cards. He just cleared my board. Luneth, anybody? And then I top decked that, and that top decked into another top deck that won me the game. So that was I got lucky there for sure.
Yeah, it was just he brought slower decks, and it was like his first deck was a cube block that you just went to town with that pirate, where you had a pretty perfect opening hand there too, and everything you did was just countered what Mike tried to do. So
what you're saying, Rod, is I don't have the worst luck in the world.
No, that'd be me, but
that is you. So you've defeated me in the worst luck competition.
Oh, dude,
congratulations,
it's
sir.
By far worse. I lost 10 games in a row in standard yesterday. So
oh Jesus,
from rank 2 to rank 4. So
oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Well, those were great games for you. Not as great for Mike, but they were pretty entertaining nonetheless. You want to tell everybody where they could find you, sir?
Yeah. So you can find me at Twitter. I'm at Wildcard Hearth. On Twitch, Wildcard Hearthstone, and probably be streaming this afternoon. I'm got one stream away from affiliate.
Yes. Congratulations, sir.
Yeah. So now I have to actually give a crap about my stream.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then there's some highlights of my streams on YouTube. But
Cool.
And of course I write. I write for Team Rankstar, and I write for Wild HS as well. You can check out my articles there.
Cool, dude. Good games.
Awesome. Thanks.
Death Graves, you want to tell everyone where they could find you?
I'm on Twitter at Deathgraves. And I also do YouTube at also Deathgraves. And yeah, I just try to make Hearthstone videos and tweet about Hearthstone stuff.
Cool, dude. Well, you could find me on Twitter at Rod_Johnston, and you could find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Rod_Johnston. Thanks for coming out, guys. I know Wildcard, you are casting the game tonight with Nate, and is it Nate is in that game?
Nate Man at Arms, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that should be fun. Do you know who you're casting with?
Not yet, no.
Oh, yeah, Deathgraves, you had talked about it, right? Yeah, you said you would do it.
Yeah.
So, Death,
Oh, cool, great.
Death's diving fully into this thing today, so. Okay,
Trial by
everybody.
fire.
Yep.
It's the best way to do it.
Yep, it is indeed. If you could get into it and just start running, run as fast as you can. So,
Yeah.
well, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we will catch you guys later.
So yeah.
Thanks. Take sarcastic.